The battle between the Florida State Seminoles and the Atlantic Coast Conference rages on, and the Florida State Seminoles have thrown down the gauntlet. How have they thrown down the gauntlet? Well, I'm going to explain how, and we're going to talk about it right after this word from my sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up, college sports fans, Big 12 fans, and fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? Welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. Belly yourself up to the bar and let me pour you out this shot of top-shelf college football content. On tap in today's episode, we are once again talking about the Florida State ACC situation. We all know that Florida State is challenging the ACC's grant of rights in an effort to get out of the conference. And for those of you who are new to the channel here, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I want to let you know, yes, you see West Virginia in my background. I am a West Virginia fan, but I also talk a lot about conference realignment, and I talk about the Big 12 as well. So if any of that is for you, I ask that you stick around, and I ask that you please hit that subscribe button to be notified of future videos. Please hit the thumbs up on this video if you like it, and please leave your comment below and let me know your thoughts on this situation. But let's get into it. Florida State, we all know the story. Florida State has sued the ACC. They're trying to get out of the grant of rights. Well, today, as I record this on Thursday, January the 4th, earlier today, the state of Florida, most specifically the Florida State Attorney General, has now inserted herself into this lawsuit and into this case. How has she done that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to present to you a piece of an article that was written at TampaBay.com. It was shared on X by Mitt Winter over at Mitt Winter Law, who's an attorney who does a lot with sports law, with NIL and other things, and puts a lot of great content on X. If you're not following Mitt Winter, I suggest you do so. But he put up a couple of excerpts from an article that was over at TampaBay.com. Now, I will leave a link to the TampaBay.com article in my description box, but be aware it is behind a paywall, okay? But really, the two most important pieces of the article are the ones that Mitt shared, and I'm going to share those with you. And here they are. Specifically, Moody, and that is the Florida State Attorney General, sent a public records request asking for all ACC financial, business, and membership records related to Florida State University. Those include grant of rights agreements and contracts and communications with the conference's TV partner, ESPN. One of Florida's top universities, and this is a quote now from the Florida Attorney General, State of Florida Attorney General. One of Florida's top universities is facing the possibility of forfeiting more than $500 million, and the ACC is refusing to hand over the agreements at the center of this astronomical financial penalty. Now, the basis of that is this. One of the reasons, and I touched on this in a past video, which I'll link to at the end, but one of the main arguments Florida State's giving here is these documents that a lot of them have never even seen. And you have to drive all the way to the state of North Carolina to see them. They're behind lock and key. They're treating it like some kind of big government document here, like top secret government document. And one of the Florida State's arguments is we need to have access to this. We need to have access to it. Other schools need access to it, and the public needs access to these documents. That's one of the things in their argument. The state of Florida's Attorney General is saying, hey, you're going to show us these documents. We need to see them. Okay, let's keep going. She says, they are unlawfully keeping these documents locked away in North Carolina. However, North Carolina and Florida state laws are clear that these agreements are public records and must be handed over immediately. Today, I am taking action to ensure FSU and the public are able to review these agreements. So, Attorney General saying, hey, you're violating not only Florida state law here, but you're also violating North Carolina state law by keeping these behind lock and key. Now, another Twitter account actually shared the entire document that the Attorney General sent in to the ACC, and I'm going to share that with you. You may not be able to see it really well. I don't know if you can read this, but basically, this is the full document that was released that the Attorney General of Florida sent in to the Atlantic Coast Conference. Ashley Moody, that's the Attorney General's name. Now, I'm not going to read all these to you, but basically, they want to see every single document between ESPN and the ACC because they're saying, hey, look, Florida State's future is dependent on what these documents say, and you're not even letting anybody see them. Now, earlier, I was listening to a show. I was listening to the Garnet and Gold podcast, and they had a guest on who was an attorney. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he made a very, very important statement in that interview. And he said, in his opinion, that the last thing ESPN or the ACC want is for these documents to start being seen and released. They don't want that to happen. They don't want them digging into these documents. So what he thinks will happen is this will force the ACC to likely come to a settlement agreement with Florida State. So basically, as it sits right now, for Florida State to get out of this grant of rights agreement, they would have to pay about $530 million. Ballpark. That's the money they'd have to pay to get out, the exit fee, and in addition to the TV revenue money they would lose by leaving the league. It's all that together. They would lose about $530 million. Huge chunk of money. They don't think they should owe that kind of money because of what they are saying are flaws in the grant of rights for various reasons. Again, it's in a previous video that I'll link to at the end. But the bottom line of this is Florida's playing hardball here. They're getting the state attorney general involved, and as a West Virginia fan, I know what can happen when an attorney general gets involved in a case. The whole Raekwon battle situation with the transfers, the school, he got denied his waiver. They filed an appeal. The appeal was denied. The state attorney general of West Virginia and an attorney general from Ohio and a few other states get involved. They sue the NCAA themselves. West Virginia at this point had backed out, but the state attorney general took it upon themselves. The state attorneys general took it upon themselves to sue the NCAA over their transfer rules, saying they were basically violating antitrust law. And it worked, at least for now. They got a temporary injunction on all transfer rules, and now players are able to transfer multiple times without a waiver. Now, it's eventually going to go to a court case, but right now, the attorneys general that filed this suit won, and these players were able to play this year. When state governments get involved in this stuff, sometimes it forces the hand of the other party, and if you don't, then you got to get judges involved, and I don't think the ACC and ESPN want that to happen. Maybe they do, but I think they're better off settling here. You don't want this thing to drag out forever. You don't want it to get ugly. That's not good for the league. Make a settlement. Let Florida State leave. If they want to leave, let them leave. Now, it's going to create a lot of chaos. And remember, there's a clause in there, apparently, based on part of the argument we heard from the Florida State Board of Regents a couple weeks ago. Jim Phillips took it upon himself, according to them, this is their words, Jim Phillips basically took it upon himself to give ESPN the right. Right now, the TV deal with ESPN is only good through 2027. But they signed a grant of rights through 2036. And Florida State is saying that Jim Phillips took it upon himself to unilaterally agree with ESPN that if ESPN wants to extend the deal from 2027 to 2036, they have that right to do that. Well, Florida State's saying that never went to a vote. We didn't get to vote on that. Jim Phillips did that on his own. That's one of the arguments they're making. And this whole thing could lead into an argument to say, wait a minute, if you're Florida State, you might say, wait a minute, if we signed a grant of rights to 2036, but we only have a TV deal to attach it to through 2027, then is the grant of rights really through 2036? Maybe the grant of rights truly should end in 2027. And if that's the case, that $530 million just got a heck of a lot less and a heck of a lot more affordable and a heck of a lot easier for Florida State to get out. Well, folks, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think now about the state of Florida getting involved in this case? The Attorney General from the state of Florida, Ashley Moody, getting involved in this case. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section. Also, guys, if you want to support Couz's Corner, if you want to help me keep the lights on, help me grow this thing, help me grow my brand, my business, my channel, you can support me financially, guys, and there are several ways you can do that. Number one, you can buy some ONIT NIL trading cards. And not only will you be supporting me by using the link in the description box, you'll also be supporting your favorite student athletes, because 60% of the profits from these cards go to pay student athletes through NIL. West Virginia is available. There are several Big 12 teams available, and there are several ACC teams available. So click on the link in the description box. Get you a pack today. Also, guys, you can join my channel, become a channel member. Hit the join button below. There are perks that I have to offer, 2 different levels to choose from. I have some exciting things I'm working on that I'm hoping that will come to fruition that I'll be able to offer my members here in the very near future to kind of up my game a little bit as far as my the perks that come with being a member. And then last but not least, guys, I have a merch store. I haven't been advertising it a lot lately, but I do have a merch store. You can get products with the Couz's Corner logo. I have several other designs to choose from. Go check out my merch store. You can click one of the pictures below or click the link in my description box. Everything's always in the description box. That's right. The description box has everything you need. And if you don't want to do any of that and you want to support me for free, there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can hit the like button. You can comment. You can share. You can subscribe. Trying to get to 7,000 subscribers. Only a couple hundred away. Help me get there. Also, my VIP member shout-outs of the day. These are channel members here at Couz's Corner, VIP members. Kenny Evans, Vernon Sheldon Witter, Sasquatch 304, and Browns and Beers. Thank you all for being members here. All of these fine people have been members for quite some time, several months to be exact. And I appreciate them all and appreciate their support for helping me keep the lights on and keep the content flowing here at Couz's Corner. And also, one last way you can support me for free. I have a website now, guys, Couz'sCorner.com. I've had it a while. Haven't really been advertising it. I'm now getting content up there almost daily. If you're a West Virginia fan, there's a lot of West Virginia sports content over there on my blog site. So go to Couz'sCorner.com. You can also get access to my audio-only podcasts and some of my YouTube videos, some of my past videos. So go to Couz'sCorner.com. Oh, and don't forget, Mountaineer Paul and I have a basketball channel too where we cover West Virginia hoops. It's called Hoops from the Hills. Go check out Hoops from the Hills and support that channel as well. Like, share, comment, and subscribe over there as well as here at Couz's Corner. With that being said, thank you for tuning into this episode. Hope you have a top shelf day. And until the next time, don't forget to always cue country roads.